Welcome everyone. Thank you for wanting to serve in 4th and 5th, and thank you for checking out these videos. This is going to help you be able to serve better and have a better understanding of how to communicate with 4th and 5th graders. I'm going to go through 3 things with you in this video. We're going to talk about what does the gathering look like. We're going to talk about what your first 4 weeks serving downstairs are going to look like. And we're going to run through 6 different things that'll help you communicate with 4th and 5th graders better. So let's start with what the gathering looks like. It starts with hangout time, which is going to happen for the first little bit, and then we're going to have 30 minutes of small groups. In those small groups, you're going to be talking through some of the material that we're going to later talk about in large group, but on a more personal level. We split between boys and girls, and you kind of make it personal and be able to have that one-on smaller conversation with them. Then we're going to have a 15-minute game with announcements and worship all packed into those 15 minutes. This allows time for the students to kind of exercise their fun muscles, I like to call them, and as well as getting to participate in worship. Worship is super important to us. It allows them to transition better into youth group, as well as transition into sitting in the main gathering better, already having an understanding of how to worship and what worship is. And then finally, there's going to be a 15-minute message, and there might be a response time, or if you're old school, you might know it as an altar call, but it'll look a little bit different depending on the circumstance. Now for your first 4 weeks in serving in 4th and 5th, this is what it's going to look like. Week 1, you're going to shadow a leader in a small group and observe the flow and how it all functions. This leader is going to show you kind of the little tricks of the trade, be able to kind of get you involved and show you kind of how it runs. Weeks 2 and 3, depending on how comfortable you get, you're going to lead the small group, but that leader's still going to be with you. They're going to be supporting you, they're going to be asking the kids questions with you, but they're going to let you kind of take the reins and kind of steer the conversation. And then by week 4, we're hoping that you're able to lead a small group on your own, that you're able to know what to do, that you're able to see everything. By the way, all of our small group material is given to you ahead of time. You don't have to come up with anything on your own. Everything is pre-made, and we get it to you 5 days in advance for you to look at and read through and be ready for whatever gathering you are serving. Now, there's a list that I've created called the 4, 5, 6. These are the 6 most important things you need to know about leading 4th and 5th graders. We're just gonna run straight through them. I'll have them on the screen for you. Number 1, kids in this age group feed off of your energy. It is crucial that we as leaders are energetic, engaged, and positive. If we show that we don't wanna be here, they won't wanna be here. It is so important for us to be the ones modeling and bringing the energy. They're looking at us, looking to replicate whatever emotion or whatever attitude we come in with. So even though we may have had just an awful week, we have to take that choice to be positive and engaging and fun. Number 2, we need to treat these kids a little older than they are. As tempting as it might be to talk down to them when you're acting out or not understanding something, it is imperative that you talk to them, not at them. That is so important. It is the number one thing that will make a 4th or 5th grader completely shut down and not want to listen to you is if you feel like you're just talking at them. They get that from their parents. They want you to talk with them. They want you to ask questions. They want you to treat them like they're intelligent because they are. Number 3, be vulnerable. They honestly understand things at a deeper level than sometimes we realize. So it's okay in those small groups to kind of ask those prodding questions of what does that actually mean? How has this shown up in your life? I've been a part of a small group where a kid was talking about how he hates it that his parents are always drunk. These kids are going through real things, and it's okay to be vulnerable with them. And that includes sharing your own stories that might relate to the message that we're talking about. It's completely okay. They will understand more than we give them credit for. Number 4, follow through on expectations. Now, this is not just relegated to consequences. That's why I'm using the word expectations. If we promise that if they do this, they're going to get this reward, we want to follow through on that expectation. And at the same time, if we say that if you do this action, there's going to be this consequence, we want to follow through on that. Of course, we want to be able to balance the idea of showing grace in times where it's necessary, but at the same time, this might be the only place where they really receive healthy structure, and it's a chance for us to show them that our actions have consequences, or our actions have rewards sometimes, and it's important for them to learn that. Number 5, explain the why. This is so important. I know if you're like me, you hated hearing as a kid because I told you so. Well, that doesn't make any sense. It's our job to explain why did we tell them that? Why are we doing that? This all loops into 4th and 5th graders in general. We have a unique opportunity to teach them the why do we follow God. In the earlier classes like K through 3rd and early childhood, they're learning the what. They're learning the who of God. What did God do? Who is God? And we're still learning that as well. However, we get to focus on, well, why should they follow God versus what all of their friends are doing? Why is this the choice they should make? And so even in the small things, we want to explain to them, well, why did we say that? Why are we asking them to do that? And that's where the whole expectations things comes back in. I'm telling you to do this because this is what's going to happen, and this is why. It's really important. And number 6, empathize with them. 4th and 5th graders want to be heard. They want to know that you're listening to them. So whatever that takes to validate that they said something and that you heard them, that's important. This doesn't mean you have to agree with everything that they say. It just means saying, all right, I totally hear that, but what about this? You want to make sure that they know that you're listening to them as a person. Well, those are just a few different things that is going to give you an extra step in starting to hang out with these kids. These kids are amazing, and they have a hunger and a desire for God, and we get to guide them and show them what it means to have a relationship with God. I'm so excited to see you guys down there. We'll see you next time.